Alone against all these droids? They don't stand a chance.
Jango Fett on the job.
Hey guys, Jango Fett here, hunting down games, comics, TV shows, movies, and more. Here to bring a review for Tales of the Jedi, The Golden Age of the Sith. Written by Kevin J. Anderson yet again, and published by my boys, Dark Horse, in 1997. And please be sure to check out my previous Tales of the Jedi reviews, Dark Lords of the Sith and the Sith War, as well as the playlist. The links will be in the description down below. So story, 5,000 years before the birth of Luke Skywalker and the fall of Palpatine's empire, 1,000 years before Exar and Ulic-Quel Droma joined forces in a sweeping conflagration known as the Sith War, the Old Republic was riding high and expanding. It was a time when the great Jedi Knights had tamed a mere portion of the galaxy, a time of rugged frontiers. Colony worlds were being established while vast portions of space remained unexplored. Long-distance travel was often treacherous and uncertain. Each year, new hyperspace routes were mapped by intrepid hyperspace explorers who sought useful roadways through an incomprehensible dimension. These intrepid risk-takers, some called them crazy, relied on blind luck as much as skill, gambling, everything in a high-stakes game to map a valuable new route across the star lanes, hoping to find their fortune instead of their deaths. So characters. An entirely new cast is introduced in this series, Gav and Jory Daragoon, hyperspace explorers who explore different hyperspace routes to discover new planets for wealth and fortune. It's a risk-reward job, and in this case ends up being risky because they end up discovering the Sith Empire. Now before I get to that, I will shift back to the Republic, Empress Teta, who recently unified the system and ruler of the 7 worlds of the Teta system. Teta system, sounds familiar. Well, you should remember it because Sadal and Alema Keto and the Krath ruled that system 1,000 years later in Dark Lords of the Sith. So it's cool to see how the name Tatan system came from the Empress herself. And a Jedi advisor to Empress Teta is Mehmet Nadil, who is not really an interesting Jedi, but it's another Jedi who will later become another advisor to the Empress. You will remember is Odin Her, a young Jedi this time, and is now eager to please his master, who is a giant brain, and curious in the ways of the Sith like Exar Kun, but not to the extreme he takes and cause a huge giant freaking war. And now he's another advisor to Empress Teta. And that's all the Republic characters. Now to talk about the Sith. A whole new civilization in the end of the galaxy. The Sith Empire has been growing in the past thousands of years, ever since the Dark Jedi have fled since the Dark Schism with their Jedi brothers. The Dark Jedi fled and discovered the Sith and intermarried with them for years and slowly grew to become this dark and powerful Sith Empire. And the Republic and Jedi are completely unknown about this threat. Now the recent Dark Lord of the Sith, Marco Ragnos, just died, and there is no Dark Lord just yet. And 2 factions vying for power are Naga Sadow and Ludo Kresh. Sadow believes the Empire should expand and take over the Republic, while Kresh believes his progressive ways will destroy the Sith, and with staying within the Empire, the Sith will live on. Artwork is done primarily by Dario Carrasco Jr. and Number 0, done by Chris Gassotte, which is a really nice touch to have him return. Be it for one tiny issue, it's cool to see him return. Now I need to talk about the drawing for this unique technology. Now the Republic are a little bit more advanced with blasters and ships and I guess clothing design. And in this volume feels very ancient. It feels way different than Coder, the comic I mean. And it feels very aged. While Coder, the video game, which hardly seems dated in technology, unlike the Tales of the Jedi series. And the Jedi have very unique lightsabers that you will probably never see before, and that's a lightsaber equipped with a power pack. That's a really cool addition. And the Sith are ancient and weaker in technology and rely on swords, and don't even have blasters. But they do have ships with guns and stuff. And their civilization is practically a replica of the Egyptian civilization, with the temples and valleys, and pretty much a replica of the Egyptian civilization in every way. So I actually plan on doing a video later on in the future touching upon this and the similarities between the Sith and the Egyptian culture. and it's really quite interesting. So I might actually bring in somebody else to talk about this a little bit more, because it's really cool stuff. And for some reason, the Daragoons have the same Egyptian style clothing like the Sith. They're from the Republic, so that makes no sense to me. The Republic system should have a different design in itself. That's what I don't get. So, my opinion of Golden Age of the Sith. A really good story and perspective on the Sith culture and how it all started. I just wish there were more stories, not just this one, that explored the Sith culture more instead of what happened after the hyperspace war. Because the Sith civilization is just so interesting. I just love their perspective and their civilization when shown in this volume. And the Sith characters are fantastic. Ulic-Quel, Naga Sadow, and the other Sith Lords are all so unique and fascinating. Now, the Republic perspective is the weak side of this volume. The Jedi, and especially the main characters Gav and Jory Daragoon, who are really bad and have some of the worst dialogue between one another. Daragoons try to make a joke out of everything, including almost getting killed and captured. This is unlike the KOTOR and Dark Lords of the Sith, with exceptional Republic characters. But this volume, these Republic characters fall flat, including Empress Teta and Odin Hor, who are cool additions but are just so one-dimensional and boring. The Empress blindly believes Odin Hor that the Sith are coming without thinking twice about it. That is totally unrealistic to me. But anyway, I am giving Tales of the Jedi, the Golden Age of the Sith, a really cool story filled with intrigue, deception, cunning will, and savagery of the Sith, and a coming war in the fall of the Sith Empire. So please like and comment your thoughts of the Golden Age of the Sith down below, and tell me what you think of my review as well, and subscribe to my channel. And enjoy the comic book cover slideshow. Peace.